Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a very long time since I've uploaded, so apologies for that, but that is because something very exciting has been happening, as you might be able to tell by the title of this video. It's been a very stressful, longer than it should have been process, but I can finally say out loud that I am moving to Walt Disney World! I can't believe it. I'm actually going to be living, working and studying, more about that later, in Walt Disney World. And not just for a few months, for a whole year. I'm moving in July as part of Disney's academic exchange program, which I'm sure a lot of you actually don't know much about. So my plan is to explain the different programs, specifically my program, because there is literally zero information on it. I'm going to then talk to you about the accommodation situation, and then lastly will be a role reveal. Firstly, we're going to talk about the different programs. So the most common one you'll probably all be aware of, and a lot of you have probably done, is the CEP, also known as the Cultural Exchange Program, which is very similar to the DCP, which is the American version called the Disney College Program. The CEP is just the international version of the college program, essentially. It's for international students who have completed at least 1 year of study at their university, so you have to be in second year, third year, or have just finished your degree. It is for 3 months across the summer, usually June to August. You can have loads of different roles such as merchandise, quick service food and beverage, custodial, lifeguarding. I think it's available for you guys as well. There are tons of videos about the CEP, so I'm not going to go into any more detail. You'll be able to find it because there's so many about that, and the DCP ones will also help you out as well. The second one a lot of you from the UK will be familiar with is the CRP, or the Cultural Representative Program, which is for anyone in a country that is represented in the World Showcase at Disney's Epcot in Walt Disney World. There are 11 different pavilions. If you are from the UK and you're a UK citizen, resident, whatever, you can apply for this. It is only to work either in the merchandise store at the UK pavilion or in the Rose and Crown pub. So you don't need to have any degree, you don't need to be studying a degree. It's not based on education level, but I do strongly recommend you have very strong either merchandise or food and beverage experience. There are a lot more food and beverage roles available for the CRP. From what I've been told, I think it's like literally like 70–80% weighed more towards Rose and Crown than the merchandise. And our third one is the AEP, or the Academic Exchange Program, which is my program, and I'm so excited to tell you about it because literally no one talks about it. It's probably because it's very niche and the criteria is very specific, which luckily I meet, clearly. But to be eligible for this program, you need to be studying a tourism or business related degree. I'm going to get the specific degrees up now, so bear with me. This is from the Yummy Jobs website. You need to be either on a tourism or hospitality, events, business and marketing, or a leisure studies degree. On the Yummy Jobs website, they do the recruitment for the Netherlands and Canada as well. They are also for specific universities, so I will put that screenshot on the video now because there is about 15 on there, and some of them are from the Netherlands and Canada. My university is Manchester Met. Most of you know I'm from Manchester, you can probably tell by the accent, and I'm actually a mature student, so I applied when I was 21. I'm now 23, and I'll be turning 24 in Disney World this year. So excited. You have to be applying in your second year, which I am now, for your placement year, or your sandwich year it might be called to your university. But yeah, placement sandwich year, it's between that, or if you're doing a master's, you can do it straight after your master's finishes. For this role, at the moment, you can work in any of the parks. As far as I know, I used to be able to work in resorts, but I think that might have changed now. So it depends on the roles that are available. It has changed slightly since COVID. So yeah, like I said, you can work any of the roles. Some of the roles are merchandise, quick service, food and beverage, a seater, which is a new role that I hadn't heard of before, lifeguarding and stuff like that. Custodial wasn't available for this one, but like I say, it's very dependent on operations of Disney World at the time of the application. So yeah, just I thought I'd let you know. Now, the only difference with this program than other ones is it's actually a split role. So you do 6 months in one role and 6 months in the other, which I think is incredible because you get to learn about 2 different roles in 2 different sections. So you could do 6 months in merch, 6 months in quick service food and beverage, 6 months lifeguarding, 6 months in attractions, stuff like that. It's a really cool opportunity for people to try different parts of the business out, and obviously different locations. So you might be in Hollywood Studios for the first 6 months, then Magic Kingdom or Epcot, etc. So that's really, really cool. More costumes as well, which I think is really exciting. And also meeting more people, think about it that way. Like, you get more chance to meet with people from all over the world, different parts of America, different teams, different experiences, different life paths, journeys, etc. The reason it's called the Academic Exchange Program because it's actually an academic partnership with Central Michigan University, CMU, as you can guess, in Michigan, not in Florida. And you'll be enrolled as a guest student at that university, but you'll never be required to go to Michigan, so that's a really important thing to stress. You will be based completely at Walt Disney World, 100%, just like you would be as a regular cast member, but you will take classes and you'll have to, you know, do like some development essays, or, you know, at the end of your program you might be asked to present a portfolio of, this is where it started, this is what I wanted to get out of it, this is what I have got out of it. And depending on the university, you can use these credits towards your final year, which is really cool because obviously that means less work when you get back. I would recommend contacting people who have done the program at your university. Obviously, once I've done the program, you can ask me any questions you want, or you can ask me any questions that I can answer now. I'm going to try and answer them in this video though, but of course I probably will forget things, so feel free to message me either in the comments or, you know, on my socials. You can message me on my Instagram, Becca is where, or you can just, yeah, email me, or yeah, like I say, comment below and we can add each other on socials, or TikTok, which is Becca James with 2 S's at the end. So you are technically a guest student, so not a full-time student. Like I said, you are 100% based in Orlando. There will be a CMU rep based in Orlando who will be your like contact person if you have any issues, anything like that. You just sign up to classes that are available to most students, but there are some specific to you. So you actually have access to loads of pre-recorded lectures from like Harvard. I'm gonna be living my Elwood's best life, you best believe. Harvard Law School. CMU put their lectures on there as well, so you can learn about maybe like, you can have classes in Disney marketing, which I'm really excited about. Like, how amazing and how interesting would that be to be taking classes with these incredible Disney leaders, you know, academics. Like, it's just so exciting. That's a brief introduction to the Academic Exchange Program. Obviously, I have not done the program. I don't know anyone who has done the program. Obviously, only just come back for this year. It's been gone since the last people who did it were in 2019. It's been 3 years, so things might have changed as well. So I will, you best believe I will be updating you on all the things. I've got lots of things planned. I'm gonna do loads of full videos about the process, like each step, because I found those really helpful, but there was none for my program. They were just for either the CEP or the CRP. So I'm gonna do one specific for the Academic Exchange Program because it doesn't exist right now. And I think it's such an incredible program and more people should know about it. I will be doing lots of separate videos, and if you've got any video requests, do let me know. I'll be doing whole packing, you know, a leaving video, the different processes, moving in, room tours when I get there, traditions. Anyway, focusing on this now. I keep going on to the tangent, I'm sorry. So, the process. Now, this again, the process for any program has changed a lot recently due to COVID, so I'm just going to talk to you from my experience for this specific program because I know it changes and it differs. So, for all Disney International programs, the CEP, CRP and the AEP, you apply through a company called Yummy Jobs who are based in Essex in the UK, and they kind of do the screening process for Disney. So they will look at everyone's CV and cover letters, sort through who they think Disney would like to see and who have got the right experience, who fit the criteria, and just who they think would be a good fit for the Walt Disney Company. Because as you can imagine, I mean the CRP, they open it for like a week now because they get thousands and thousands of applications. It's in the CEP, they get such a high volume of applicants because you can be on any degree course at any UK university as far as I'm aware. So it's just, they get so many applications that there has to be some kind of vetting process before Disney get to see the potential candidates. Basically, for mine, you had to submit just a CV and a cover letter to Yummy Jobs, and disclose some personal information about like what uni you're at, what course you're at, address, personal information, things like that. And I'll insert a video now of the application screen so you can get a look at it.
Okay, this is what the screen looks like. So I'm gonna upload my resume, fill in all this information. This is the information you have to obviously be on, including vaccinations as well, which is interesting. That's probably new. And then I think that's all I've got to do. I don't think there's any questions like there is on the other programs.
And then the video of me actually submitting my application, because this was very exciting.
I've applied, it's gone. Now it's a waiting game. Oh my god, I can't believe I've applied to work here. I mean, I'm sleeping underneath it every night. This must be a sign. I am honestly so proud of the cover letter and the CV. I put hours and hours and hours into it, and I'm really, really happy with it. So, fingers crossed.
So I did my application very early. As soon as it opened, I'd already been writing my CV and cover letter, and I recommend getting in contact with your placements coordinator at your university for your department. Because mine, Charlie, if you're watching this, hi, was a lifesaver and really helped me get my CV like 10 million times stronger than it was. I'd never thought to do a CV the way that he taught me how to do one. So I can do a full video on CV tips because it literally changed my life. And I will never do CVs any other way. They are there to help you. You know, you pay a lot of money for tuition fees, use all the resources available. There are CV help books, there are CV things probably in your libraries, online. Like CV 360 is a really good one as well. You can just upload your CV and it will give you loads of tips. I don't know if your uni has access to that, but it's really, really helpful. But again, I'll do a full separate video on the CV and cover letter, etc. For a lot of other programs, I know that you have to answer specific questions about like cultural exchange and why culture is important to you, etc. For this program, you don't have to do that. It's literally CV, cover letter, personal information, and you submit. One last tip before I move on though, please do personalise your CVs and cover letters to the specific company you are working for. Now, I don't mean splash pictures of Mickey Mouse and the Disney font. Don't do that, that's not what they want. But what I mean is, about me section, say I'm looking for this and name the role. I am looking to take this role because they check that. And if you accidentally use another company's name, like, oh my god, just don't do that. And also, you might have a lot of experience. Like, I've done full-time jobs. I didn't include that in the CV for this job because it just wasn't relevant. Think about the job you're applying for and tailor your CV and cover letter for that job. I'm gonna move on now. I just really want to help you guys. Then I got an email from Uni Jobs to say, we like you. We want you to schedule a pre-screen interview with us, and in the past this has been at the Uni Jobs headquarters in Essex, but this time it was actually a Zoom call, which I was really relieved about because it is spenny getting from Manchester to Essex, knowing that if I got through I'd have to go to London as well. And I'm a student, I'm poor, I can't be paying for this, you know? So yeah, luckily it was over Zoom, and I just had to schedule that on their like little online thing.
I am officially booking my pre-screen interview with Uni Jobs. Let's press the schedule event. Yes.
And then after I'd scheduled that, I got invited to like another Zoom call. It wasn't an interview, it was like an information session. So 2 people from Uni Jobs, including Alexis, who was to do my pre-screen interview, was on the call. So there was about 30 people on this information session. It was going through a presentation that I'd been previously sent by my university about the program, but Uni Jobs actually explaining it and just getting me really excited about the potential of doing this program. It was so exciting. There was probably about 30 odd people on there, including from different universities and their university placements coordinators. Mine wasn't on there, but there's a couple of people from our uni there. But I will say, apart from the placements coordinators, there was about 3 of us, including myself, who had their cameras on. So yeah, be smiling, engaging. This is exciting. This is to work for Disney. They need to show that you've got the Disney enthusiasm, the Disney passion, you know? Yeah, so then the pre-screen interview came around. It was on a Monday, about 2 o'clock, and it was just in my room. I'd put all my Disney stuff out, not too much, but like that's just how my room is anyway. Dressed business, I had like a blazer on, I had like a roll neck top on, you know, look professional. This is a professional interview. Don't be sat there with your mini ears on and your Spirit jersey. Not gonna help you, trust me. These pre-screen interviews, mine was about 10 to 20 minutes long. They'll ask you really good questions like, why do you want to do the program? What motivates you? How would you cope living with a roommate? Things like that. But again, I'm gonna do a full separate video with all the questions and some tips another day. But yeah, just to give you an idea, it's really, really casual. Me and Alexis ended up talking about football and other things and just general chit chat, and it was just a lovely, lovely, lovely conversation. There was a point where I actually forgot the question she was asking me because I was just so like, just breathe and just say, oh, I'm really sorry, can you repeat the question again? There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Do it. They would rather you take the time to answer the question correctly than just blabber and waffle and go off on a tangent for 20 minutes. So, after the pre-screen interview, it's like a weight had been lifted and then it was a wait. And to be fair, I only waited about not less than 2 weeks, about 10 days. So it was not the Friday that had happened, it was the Friday after, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, this was October time, so it's now March, so my brain is like, ah. So, yeah, so I got the email while I was in uni. No, I wasn't in uni. I was actually on a date with a guy that I was seeing at the time, and we were in Manchester, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna check my phone. And then we'd literally just sat down, hadn't even ordered drinks or anything yet. And I was like, oh my God, I got it. Oh my God, I got it. So I was so buzzing, so excited. And then I also realized that the date was when I should have been in New York. Now, this trip was paid for by the university. It only cost me 200 quid, which is still a lot of money, do not get me wrong. But when the opportunity to interview for Disney and they tell you it is non-negotiable and you can't do any other date, you're gonna take it, so I did. This process was about 3 or 4 weeks in advance. So I got the email and then it was about a month later, so it was on Friday the 11th of November was my interview day, and I got this in like mid-October. So I think it was just under a month, I'm pretty sure. So basically, when you get that email from Yummy Jobs to say, we're gonna put you through at Disney, you have to wait for Disney to then contact you. And then you have to basically kind of redo the process again. So you'll get a link that is only for you to apply. And then you put your CV, cover letter, answer a few questions again, just personal information really. And then once they've received that, you'll kind of skip a few steps ahead to the interview stage, which is number 4. So you go basically from 1 to 4 really quickly because you've kind of already done the screening process through Yummy Jobs. And then you'll get an email to upload your docs. So you upload your passport, any previous visas you've had in America, which I've had none, apart from Esther's, that doesn't count. It means like your J1 visas if you've done a program before, whether it's with Disney or Universal or any other type of work placement in the US. I waited for another email, which was to upload my role preferences. So you'll get sent like I didn't realize this, but they will send you loads of roles, even roles that aren't available. So just be aware, the roles that are on there doesn't mean you'll get them. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a guide for them to gauge your interest in stuff, and you can put like, I'm gonna do a separate video on this process, but you can rank them on how likely you want to do it. I would try and put, it's like likely, very likely, things like that, or no interest. I think I put no interest for only one, which was lifeguarding, because I can swim, but I'm not a strong swimmer. I don't think anyone would want to put their life in my hands, to be honest. So yeah, definitely it was 0 interest for lifeguarding, but the rest were all moderate to high interest, especially merch and attractions were my top ones. You had to do that, and then you were sent like information about the day. So it'd be Friday the 11th of November, it would start at this time, be there from here. There are 2 entrances into Disney HQ, you have to take the back one. Now I will put this in a separate video because it's hard to explain, so I'll put it in a separate video, but there is a specific way you have to go in. Can I just say though, Disney HQ is insane, incredible, loved it, 10 out of 10, would recommend. If you can go, please go. Obviously you can't just turn up. I mean, if you get the chance to interview with Disney, it's just the best. So what I did was I travelled down to London on my own the night before. I didn't know anyone else who was going to be there. Like I say, there's not the same, like for the CRP and CEP, there are like a bazillion group chats on Facebook where people make their own mini chats off it. And so if you are doing those programs, I definitely recommend checking those out. There wasn't any for my program, and we did all discuss this on the day, like, why isn't there one? So we made one, but more onto that later. So I travelled down on my own because there was a lot of train strikes going on at the time, and I could not risk coming from Manchester to London and my train getting cancelled because I don't drive, so I would not be able to get there without begging someone to give me a lift. And it's a long journey, it's like 5.5 hours, 6-hour drive. So yeah, on a Friday, not the one. So I travelled down on the train the night before, and I stayed at the Travel Lodge, yeah, which was literally next to, like, a 5-minute walk away, if that, from Disney HQ, right near the Nando's on the corner. If you've been, you'll know which one I mean. If not, I'm gonna put it on the screen, and again, I'll talk about this in a separate video. So I got the train down, stayed there for a night, and then after my interview, I travelled back to Manchester. I was gonna do the whole, like, go to a theatre show, because a lot of you know I'm a massive musical fan, but I wouldn't have enjoyed it because I'd have been stressing about the interview, so I just thought, no, save your money, save your stress, and just have a chilled night. So I got myself a cheeky Nando's, an edit in my room, and practiced my interview, and just prepared myself for what will be the most important interview of one of the most, if not, well, to date is the most important interview of my life. I got there and I was the first person to arrive from the candidates. Alexis from Yummy Jobs came down to greet me, which was really nice to finally see her in person. The staff on reception were so nice, as you can probably guess from Disney staff. So we all meet in the lobby, and I met a girl called Lorna. Hi Lorna, if you're watching. You might not be. But she was lovely. And then we took each other's pictures in front of the famous Mickey. I'll insert the picture now. Everyone knows the famous Diamante Mickey in the main reception. And then we went up to the room, and it was like a really like cool space. There's like a Mickey wall where you could take Instagram pictures. You walked in and there was like a massive like PowerPoint, like with loads of different TV screens. I'll insert a picture here as well. And then Yvette from Disney International Recruitment was there, and also Dean Wallin from CMU was there. So we sat down and we were just chatting to them, like super informal, like, oh, where have you travelled from today? Did you stay over the night before? What courses do you do? What uni are you from? Things like that. And then when everyone had arrived, there was 8 of us in total. I was shocked at how little people were there. I don't know if it was because not many people applied or because they got vetted really quickly by Yummy Jobs. I have no idea. But yeah, there was only 8 of us, so I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I had no idea. But Yvette did an incredible presentation about the program and what was involved, all the different roles, and then showed us a video of Flamingo Crossings Village, which is Disney's new accommodation for program participants. It was like they were trying to sell it to us, but we were sold. We were all ready to go. But one thing I will note, which I don't know if it happens on any other program, but the whole time Yvette was like, when you get on the program, when you move to Florida, you'll need to know this, when, rather than if. And I was like, girl, you're getting my hopes up here, stop it. It was really exciting. But she did say, when you will get to that point at Disney HQ, you are 80% of the way there. It's more of like a check-in process to check that what Yummy Jobs and what you said in your application is correct, and that you've got the right demeanor. So from the minute I got there, I was smiling with every single person, because Disney, one of those companies that, I don't know if this is true, but Disney could potentially be, and a lot of other companies do this, if they know that certain people have engaged throughout different people. Sorry, having major camera issues. Sorry if it's like a slightly different angle, but we move. Disney and a lot of other big companies do this, where if they know you've interacted with a lot of people in the business, they will then go and ask those people once you've left, you know, were they polite, were they friendly? You should always treat everyone with kindness, just as a general rule, but especially when you're in an interview, you're in a workplace environment. Anyway, so we went upstairs, and yeah, like I said, we were having this incredible presentation, and then we got split off into a little group. So they kept 3 people in the room to do their interview. So there was 2 Disney recruiters there. There was Yvette and Danielle, and then Dean from CMU. And then the rest of us, Alexis took us on a little tour, and I can't even tell you how incredible it was. I will try and insert some pictures over this audio right now, so you can have a little look. It was like a bedroom with Winnie the Pooh on it, like Mike and Sully were there. Wakanda Forever had just premiered, so they had all the photos from there. And then the big poster in honor of Chadwick Boseman, who sadly passed away. It was props from Star Wars, Marvel. It was so cool. And the Disney cafe for the staff is amazing, by the way. So cool. And the lifts, all of them are themed to a different character, and there's just adverts of trailers for all the new things coming out on Disney Plus. It's just it's just amazing. Like, what a happy environment to work in. I'd never want to work from home. And then we got called up, so then we were just all sat there, the 5 of us that weren't being seen. We just got chatting about, you know, like, what's everyone do, what's everyone want to do, what's everyone's favourite Disney park, and just talking to like Disney people was so much fun. And hopefully these are the people that I'm going to be on my programme with and we'll see around, and oh, just so excited. And I got called up, and my interview was firstly with Disney, with the incredible Danielle. Now, I love Danielle. She was so nice, and I was so nervous, but like, to be fair, as soon as I got into the room upstairs and was chatting to Yvette and chatting to Dean and Danielle like casually, I suddenly was like, oh, this is gonna be so nice. Like, this is just gonna be a really nice conversation, and that's exactly what it was. I was probably sat with Danielle for 20 to 25 minutes when they scheduled it for like 10 minutes. So we just got chatting, like, I can't even tell you. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on this because I need to get my notes, which I don't have to me right now. But she was so lovely. So I asked her about her role, first of all, and she was the head of merchandise for the World Showcase in Epcot. So she looks after all the merchandise shops in all the different pavilions, which is so cool. As a massive merch, that was one of my top role choices as well, so I was buzzing to be interviewing with Danielle. Because like, if she thinks I'm good for merch, she'll hopefully push merch for me. I hope she has. Please, Danielle. But yeah, we got chatting about like my favourite memories from Disney, and she was telling me that she worked on the opening of Galaxy's Edge, and she got to meet AJ from Disney Food Blog, which, if you guys know, I love DFB Guide, and I'm sure many of you do. And I was like, no, she was like, do you know them? I was like, yeah, of course I do. And we were like fangirling over AJ from Disney Food Blog, because who wouldn't? So yeah, it was just a really lovely conversation, and honestly, I walked away thinking that is the best interview I've ever had in my life. It didn't even feel like an interview. That's probably why I enjoyed it so much. The main premise of it was, what's your motivation for doing the programme? What are your top 3 role choices and why? And then I can't even remember what she asked. Again, I'll put all the real questions in the separate video, but it was also things like, how would you feel living with a roommate, etc. This is where it differs from other programs. You then have to have an interview with Dean from CMU, who was lovely. With him for a good 10-15 minutes. He asked things like, what's your biggest strength and weakness academically, which I had no idea what questions he was going to ask, so I couldn't really prepare for Dean's questions like I had with the Disney ones. I never knew what he was going to ask, but it was really interesting. First, he asked your name, what uni you're from, what course you study, and he literally hand wrote it all, whereas Disney had their computer. Dean just sat there and hand wrote it. But yeah, he asked like, what do you like about your course, why did you choose it, what do you want to get out of the programme, what do you want to learn, kind of things you could expect, to be honest. So after that, we then all said goodbye at the end. We were only there for like 4 hours, if that might be a complete exaggeration, but I'd planned on being there all day. So I managed to get an earlier train home, picked up my luggage, rang my mum and my dad, told them all about it. Yeah, and then got an early train home, managed to avoid the Friday rush hour trains, and then that was it. And then the waiting game began. So on the day, we were told that it would be mid-December. Turns out that was incorrect, and that was actually the date for CEP, which were the interviews the week after us. So bear that in mind, the programme differs. It's a lot more of a difficult process because obviously, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I'm guessing that Disney have to think who they think's good, and then CMU have to be like, well, I think these people are good, and make sure that they marry up. CMU sponsor the visa, not Disney. So it's a complicated situation, and there has to be a contract signed between your university and CMU before Disney can send their email out, and that's why it took so long. So we ended up emailing Alexis at Give Me Jobs and being like, do you know when we're going to find out? Because we were in mid-December and it was like nearly Christmas, and I was like, why have we not found out? Have we not got it? And then she was like, oh no, it's January. I was like, oh, well, we got told this date. Anyway, so then we got told it was the end of Jan. And then it got to the end of Jan and I was like, what's going on? So I was emailing Alexis and I was emailing my university, and basically, and a lot of the other universities had this problem. We basically got told that we'd got on the programme, so yay, but obviously it wasn't through the normal congratulations email. It was from Alexis and from uni saying that we've got an offer, but Disney can't send the email until they've signed the contract with CMU, which was really frustrating and disappointing, but I understand how these things must be difficult. Legal things take a lot of time to be ironed out. So there was nothing we could do, we just had to wait and wait and wait, but we knew we'd got on it, we just didn't know what roles or anything like that, and we didn't have the official email, which is what we wanted. So that is coming either this week or next week for me. So hopefully I can end this vlog with the email and I can tell you what roles I've got. That is the plan anyway. So yeah, having applied in September and then not getting the email until March, that is a very, very, very long process. And I just want to stress that that's not normally this long for a Disney program. And I'm hoping that now that they've done this for the first time in a few years, your universities and other universities will have a more streamlined process of getting this sorted, because the anxiety-inducing process was not fun, especially when you've got visas to sort out if it's for a whole year. And obviously it's for a placement year. If I didn't get it, I'd have had to have been looking for another placement. I would have missed study abroad applications. So yeah, it's a lot, it's a lot. But luckily, on the day of the interview, we created a group chat with me and the other people from the interview. So 8 of us had an Instagram group chat, so we could keep each other updated, which made me feel a lot less stressed knowing that it wasn't just me being like, oh my God, I've not heard. We were all in the same boat. We've all got on the program, so that's even better. So we're hopefully gonna go for celebratory drinks soon and plan flights, and I wanna do a staycation as well. So yeah, the plan now is to book flights, get my embassy interview sorted, to get my visa approved. I've started planning my leaving parties. Yeah, trying to do like a little bucket list of things that I want to do before I go, a bucket list of things I want to do when I get there, which I'm going to do a whole separate video on because I've got so many things I want to do. But yeah, then I've got to apply for accommodation through dorms. The situation with accommodation, I'm sure quite a few of you'll know, gone are the days of the old accommodations, so RIP Vista Way, etc. They now have Disney's Flamingo Crossings Village, which is a brand new complex in partnership with American Campus Housing something or other. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to insert a few pictures as I talk of the different, like the apartment, of the pools, of the gym. It's insane. Now, as I'm going to be there for a year, I have to think about what room type I want. So there are 3 different types. There is a 2x2, which is a shared bedroom and a shared bathroom. There is a 4x2, which means individual bedrooms, but you share a bathroom between 2 people. Or there is a 4x4 apartment, which means that 4 of you each have your own apartment and each have your own bathroom. Obviously there is a price difference. I will put them on the screen now, the different prices, because the lovely dean at CMU actually gave us a printout copy of all the participation fees, from tuition fees, accommodation, rent, average wages. So again, I'll do a whole separate video on that, but just as a quick side note, your accommodation, mine's probably going to be around $200 a week, so about $800 a month. I get paid $14 an hour in non-tipping roles, because that violates my visa if I do a tipping role, such as table service, food and beverage, which is why you can only work quick service, or as a seater, because they are non-tipped roles. And then also tuition fees. So for my role, it is $5,660, but I'm hoping that my university is going to help, so I'm just getting some more information on that at the minute, but definitely talk to your university about that, because that is expensive. It's probably the most expensive program because of the academic side. So yeah, that's the plan, to apply for that, and then I've got to book my flights. And yeah, like I say, I want to do a staycation, so I officially move in on the 17th of July and do my onboarding and enrollment, things like that, and traditions, etc. that week. It's a Monday the 17th of July, but I want to fly on Saturday the 15th and do 2 nights either at a Disney hotel or just anywhere, to just get over the jet lag, to go to Target and Walmart and do my grocery shop and get all my furniture and things. But yeah, that is the update for now. Obviously I've got a lot more to do, so I'll keep you guys updated and I'll do my separate videos. But yeah, just this is the update for now. This is what's happening. I'm moving to Disney World for a whole year in July. I'm so excited. I just can't believe that it's happening. This hard work has paid off. Do not give up on your dreams, guys. You got this. But yeah, there is more to this video, so I'll insert the rest of it now. Oh, okay, I don't know how I figure it out. Okay. Oh, where did I find my roll? I want to know my rolls. So excited. Congratulations. On behalf of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts US, we are pleased to let you know that you have been selected to participate in Disney World cast member in the roles below. Your program sources, attractions and merchandise. I got what I wanted. I got the role I wanted. Oh, she got what she wanted.